It's Friday, November 26th. I'm Daniel Williams, and this is the MGMA Week in Review, where each week we bring you some of the most important, interesting, and inspiring stories happening in healthcare leadership and medical practices today. We begin this week with an article on supply chains. Healthcare, like all industries, is subject to supply chain issues. Medical practices not only feel the impacts from raw material cost and availability, manufacturing capacity, and increasing shipping costs and delays for all products or raw materials originating outside the United States. And healthcare providers also face pandemic-specific requirements for personal protective equipment and COVID-19 testing. In most cases, these issues impact independent providers disproportionately. An MGMA Best Price Broad Analysis of 2021 Q3 data found independent providers spent 37% more on average for exam gloves over the prior quarter. This continued a long string of quarterly price increases that topped 100% year over year. The Delta variant-driven COVID-19 peak during the period drove utilization up by 9%, putting additional strain on inventory and raw materials. Even as COVID-19 cases subside, providers should not expect much relief for exam gloves as deferred elective surgical procedures resume and glove utilization increases. MGMA members should expect price increases to be relatively stable across vendors within a category based upon raw material and shipping cost and local COVID-19 outbreaks. For example, most exam gloves are manufactured in Malaysia, and most wound care products and PPE are made in China's Wuhan province. Providers should prepare for disruption of product availability from pharmaceutical manufacturers and price increases for the 2022 and 2023 influenza season. Global drug manufacturers and their supply chains are focusing on COVID-19 vaccine production. Other products are put on rolling production delays while vaccine production is impacted by capacity constraints. The breadth of supply chain issues leaves no major manufacturer untouched. They are already buying production time at a size and scale to overcome any simple issues. To help solve these issues, you can review contract pricing with your GPO account manager, and if you're an MGMA Best Price member, access the Health Trust contract portfolio by emailing support@mgmabestprice.org, or you can give them a call at 844-234-6462. Our next article looks at telehealth. Telehealth can boost patient acquisition and loyalty. This article first appeared in Medical Economics. Solve Health analyzed patient and provider booking data as well as patient survey data and found that digital care access is an effective care delivery model and patient loyalty driver across healthcare practices nationally. While digital care access has been important during the pandemic, the study points to digital accessibility for booking and telemedicine visits as a continuing long-term trend. Here are some key findings from the study. 87% of urgent care telemedicine visits did not require an in-person referral or follow-up visit, either with that urgent care provider or another specialist. This indicates that providers should complement their brick-and-mortar locations by offering telemedicine visits. Second, 88% of patients surveyed said they are likely to visit the same provider again strictly because that provider offered telemedicine. This data suggests that telemedicine patients are more loyal to specific physicians or medical practices if that practice offers the ability to receive care virtually. Third, on average, Nearly half of patients who scheduled care online were new patients to that practice. This data suggests that patients who seek care online will visit a practice they haven't visited before if they're also able to book their care entirely online without the need for phone calls. Next, 80% of provider visits, both in person and virtual, show that patients booked online took place within 48 hours of booking. This data points to provider availability and access as a top patient concern. And finally, the average median telemedicine visit is 12 minutes. Doctors can provide the care needed in a quick and efficient manner while boosting patient satisfaction and loyalty. I'll leave you this week with some strategies to boost retention through the Great Resignation. This article first appeared in the Harvard Business Review. With employees jumping ship in record numbers in the United States, companies are facing a talent crunch. One HR strategy they should embrace is to make themselves so attractive that employees won't want to leave. The measures that can help accomplish that are to add monetary incentives for staying. Also, to provide better career opportunities. Third, elevate the company's purpose. 4, prioritize culture and connection. 5, take better care of employees and their families. And 6, embrace flexibility. So let's look at each one of those categories a little deeper. Incentivizing loyalty. What does that mean? Well, you have to pay people enough to take the issue of money off the table. In addition to updating your overall compensation package, consider offering employees one-time bonuses, helping them pay down their student loans, or providing them with work-from-home stipends. Second, providing those opportunities to grow. Pretend your best people just handed in their resignation notices. How would you change their minds? First, you could ask them, if you could shape your dream job here, what would it be? Then look for ways to make it happen. Next, elevating that purpose. Purpose is the timeless reason that your organization exists. It's the reason people join and choose to stay. The HBR analysis shows that in turbulent times, a belief in what an organization is trying to achieve is even more important than in quieter periods. So prove to employees that there's more to your organization than the bottom line. And don't just talk purpose, use it to shape what you do and how you do it. Next, prioritize culture and connection. Put your work aside and make time to connect and build relationships. Not only will this solidify their relationships with your organization, but the research during the COVID-19 pandemic indicates that social connection also has a significant positive impact on productivity. Number 5, invest in taking care of your employees and their families. Provide mental health resources. Acknowledge the personal sacrifices everyone has made during the pandemic. Help parents with small children by providing or subsidizing daycare. And give more paid time off. Sure, some employees will need more than others, so do whatever is required to take care of them. And finally, getting back to that flexibility. The future of work is going to be providing flexible work environments in terms of place, time, job description, and career paths. So embrace it. Better yet, have employees form teams to create their future of work. If people help build their dream home, they'll want to live in it. Keep up with the latest industry news by subscribing to the MGMA Insights newsletter at mgma.com/insights newsletter. If you want to become part of the healthcare discussion, You can join the MGMA STAT panel by texting STAT to 33550. And to keep up with the latest healthcare legislation, visit mgma.com/advocacy. If you have a healthcare story you want to share with us, email us at podcast@mgma.com. This has been the MGMA Week in Review. I'm Daniel Williams. Thanks